Hello, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to set up OpenClaw, how to connect it to your favorite tools, and how to tackle common errors. Without further ado, let's get started. All right, so for people who don't know what OpenClaw is, basically it's an open source personal AI assistant that you connect to your favorite models like GPT or Claude. Also, you connect it to your favorite tools, calendar, your Gmail, etc. And then you start chatting with it and start doing the work for you, right? So this is the official website. So all I have to do is to scroll down on this quick start. Okay, I'm going to be installing it on a virtual private server, but in case if you have Windows, it's the same process, or if you have Mac, it's the same process. Just go to openclaw.ai, and here as you can see, I am in Windows. It will automatically select the window option, so you can just change it because I'm about to do it on Linux. And here I have I'm just going to select Linux here, and this is the command that you can just copy and paste it in your terminal. Just go ahead and open your terminal. All right, so here I am in my server, so I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to be pasting it here and hit enter. So this will just go ahead and install all the prerequisites of running OpenClaw. It will install Node.js, Linux build tools, all kind of stuff that we need to get started with OpenClaw. All right, so after a while, it will take you to the onboarding, and we're just going to select this option and it will be set up for us. The first question is, I understand this is a personal by default and shared multi-user user requires lockdown. I'm just going to say yes. And then on the onboarding mode, just make sure you select manual. We like to set up everything manually. If you select quick start, you may miss some stuff here, so it will be better to select manual. So just hit enter. All right, and here where do you want it to set up, make sure you select the local gateway. Right, you can go up or down with the down and the bottom key here on the keyboard. I'm just going to select local, hit enter. Next, the workspace directly. So if you want a separate workspace directory, you can paste here your directory. I'm just going to leave it as default. Next, we are going to select the model. All right, so we have a bunch of models here. You can select whatever you want. All you need is the API key. So I'm going to select OpenAI, and then I'm going to use and here you can see we have the authentication method. You can either connect your ChatGPT account or OpenAI API key. So if you're just getting started, you can just select your ChatGPT account. However, depending on your subscription, it has some limitation, which means you get some limits, daily limits you cannot exceed. But in the API key, it's dependent on how much you have top up your accounts on the credits. I'm just gonna select ChatGPT account. Again, it's free, and then it will tell you that to open this URL. So just copy this URL, and then I'm just gonna paste it in the browser. Next, connect your account. All right, so once you connect your account, just click continue, and now you will see this site can be reached. And the reason why it's because it's a local website. So in my case, this is a virtual server, which means it's remote. But if you're running this locally, it will work fine. However, if the computer that you want to use like a server, which is remote, and just copy this URL and then paste it in here and hit enter. All right, so now the OpenAI account is set up for us. I'm just gonna select the model. So I'll select this one. I'm just gonna keep OpenAI Codex GPT 5.4, enter. For the gateway port, leave it as default. Next, the gateway band. Make sure you select the low pack if you want more security. Because you select this LAN O, it will be forwarded to the public internet, and you don't want to do that. So just make sure it's low pack, which means local host. As you can see, this is local EP. And hit enter. Next, the gateway authentication. Make sure you select the token and tell skill exposure. No, we don't want it. Select off. And then how do you want to provide the gateway token? I'm just going to select the default, and here you will need to paste the gateway token, but if you leave it blank, it will automatically generate for you. I'm just going to leave it, hit enter. Right, next we need to configure the chat channels. So you will see here we have a bunch of options. We have Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, Slack, iMessage, etc. I'm going to be using Telegram, just easy to set up. You're going to say yes. Here you can select whatever option you want. I'm going to select Telegram. All right, next we will need the Telegram bot token. Just select enter bot token, and then you will need to paste your Telegram bot token. To get the Telegram bot token, go to your Telegram account and make sure you go to the bot father. This is the username. Just search the username and then type /new bot. Next, we're gonna give it a name. I'm just gonna say my OpenClaw bot. Then give it a username. So once you give it a username, it will give you this token. Just copy it, and then we are going to paste it in here and hit enter. So now the channel has set up. So I'm just gonna go to finished and hit enter. Next, you will need to configure the DM access policy. So this is how you make your bot secure, because anyone who has my username can just go ahead and start chatting with it. So we need a way to secure it, and the only one or the only users who I approved can chat with it. This is why we need this DM access policy. I'm just gonna say yes, and make sure you select the pairing, okay, the default one. Next, the search provider. So if you would like the bot to do some research on the web, you can choose the Brave search, Perplexity, Gemini, etc. I'm gonna use Brave, hit enter. Next, we'll need the API. To get the API, go to API dashboard search brave.com, create an account, and go to API keys. I already have an API. I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it in here, then hit enter. Next, we will need to configure the skills. So I'm just gonna say yes. So basically for skills, there are like a markdown document that explains to the bot or to the agent how to use it. Okay, so you can select any skills like nano banana if you would like to generate an image, etc. I'm just gonna select Claw Hub. This allows you to install other skills because these are just built-in skills, but there are plenty of skills out there. So I'm just gonna select Claw Hub, but feel free to select anyone. Just to select it, click on the space key, and to disable it, just click the space key again. I'm just gonna hit enter, and I'm gonna select npm. Next, do you would like to set Google Place? No. Gemini? No. I'm just gonna leave this as no, 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 no. Now we need to enable the hooks. It's recommended to add them because once you have like bootstrapped, like your server is bootstrapped, okay, or rebooted, or you have a new session, so you will like to remember your conversation and all the kind of stuff. I'm just gonna hit enter. Next, you would like to install gateway. Yes. And select node. Next, how do you want to hatch your bot? You can select Open Web UI. Yes, enable bash shell completion for OpenClaw. All right, so now we have completed the onboarding. So again, if you are in your local computer, just gonna go ahead and open this URL. If you are in your server, you will see this command. You just copy it, and then I'm gonna paste it in new session and hit enter. All right, so now we can just access it even though it's a virtual server, and I can access it locally. It's safe. All right, so this is the control OpenClaw control panel. This is where you can set up your stuff here. I'm gonna say hi, see if it's working. All right, so we got the response, so now it's working. Let's go back to Telegram, and I'm just gonna say hi here again. So as you can see, this is the pairing method that we talked about. You cannot just send it messages. So you need to be approved on the system. I'm just going to copy this command, the last line. I'm just going to paste it in my terminal here. Make sure it's where OpenClaw is running. Enter. All right, so now I am approved. Let's say hi again. All right, so now I got the response back, which means it is working. All right, so now we have set up the OpenClaw. Now it is running. So if you go to the agents, and you will see this is my primary model, and you can change the model here. We added more. And if I go to files, so these are the core files that the agent read, like a system instructions. Okay. And also we have here the heartbeat. This is very useful if you have like some task that you wanted to tackle, like to keep checking some stuff every hour. So this is the heartbeat. Okay. So if you go to tools, this is where you can enable or disable any tools. As you can see, it has access to all sort of stuff. It has access to agent list, media, text to speech, image, and just make sure you have web search and web fetch enabled and the runtime as well. So this allows it to run the commands for us because it's very important, and just make sure both of them are enabled, and also the files it can read and write and edit and apply patches. So just click save. So if you see this save button is disabled and all these tools are disabled as well, and you cannot enable them from here, you can just copy paste this command. So go to the terminal and just type this command, OpenClaw config set tools.profile and then full. So this give it full access to everything. So I'm just gonna hit enter. All right, so now it is working. I'm just gonna restart. So type OpenClaw gateway restart to apply the changes. All right, so now let me just test and see if it can search the web. So I said search latest AI news. So if we go back to the control panel, if we click on this drop down, you will see we have two sessions. This is my Telegram username. I'm just gonna click on it, and here you can see this is the last message I have sent, and you can see some choices here like web search, and it searches latest AI news, and yeah, you can see here these are the latest message, and these are the latest AI news. So now the bot has access to the internet. All right, next we would like to connect to other platforms such as Gmail, all right, or Calendar, etc. So just go to composio.dev, platform composio.dev, sign up for your account. This allows you to just connect your account from here, all right, and then you just access it on the bot. All right, so let's go ahead and install it first. So I'm just gonna copy and paste all these commands. I will leave the link in the description for all the commands that you need to like to restart the gateway, to fix issues, etc. I'm just gonna hit enter, and everything, the Composio will be installed. All right, so after a while you should see a login URL here. Just open it in your web browser, hit enter. Now it will ask you to connect your account to the CLI command that we installed. I'm gonna click authorize. All right, now we are all set. Next, it will install the skill automatically because we have the app Composio installed in our server. However, we need to teach the AI how to use it. So this is the skill, which is like a markdown file that explains to the bot how to interact with it, how to use it, etc. So we need to select all these skills. Right now, the installation scope, make sure you select global, and the installation method, symlink, and proceed with installation. So once the installation is done, I'm just going to go to the bot. All right, next, just make sure you type /new to start a new session, and I'm gonna see if Composio is installed and you can have access to it. If it tells you that it is installed, perfect. If it says that it's not installed, just ask it to install it. Right, so now it is installed. Let's verify it. Right, and you should see that you have already authenticated. So what we want to do is, if you will like any platform which available here, just go to all toolkits, and here you can find plenty of platforms. Okay, just make sure the platform exists. Let me select calendar. Here you can see we have Google Calendar, so I would like to connect to it. So we'll just say I want to connect to Google Calendar. Alright, so you can see connected to Google Calendar. So I'll ask it to list all the calendar. Here you can see that I have two calendars. This is my Gmail, and we have holiday in Morocco. Next, let's ask it to create a meeting in my calendar tomorrow 10 p.m. and it's new meeting with the client for 30 minutes. Right, so tomorrow is 9 and 10 p.m. we have new meeting here with the client. Also we have a Google Meet. All right, so this is just the top of the iceberg on what this OpenClaw AI assistant can do. You can almost connect to any platform you want. Again, you can just search the platform here. If you need like an API token, you go to the main platform, you get the API token, and you just ask the bot to guide you through the setup process. All right, next things, let's say we want to add a plenty of models providers such as Anthropic, Gemini, Moonshot, etc. To do that, just go to your terminal, type OpenClaw, configure, hit enter. So this allows us to configure our OpenClaw settings. We can change the model, and also with this command you can also change like the workspace, etc. We'll just say local, and here you can select the sections. We have web tools, gateway, channels, etc. I'm just gonna go with the model, hit enter. So what I want to do is I want the Moonshot. I'm just gonna go to Moonshot and hit enter, and the API key, I'm gonna paste it here. All right, so let's paste it here, hit enter, and here we can just go ahead and select all the models. So again, you have to select the model that you have previously, okay? In our case, we have OpenAI Codex, which means we have to go ahead and enable it here if it's not enabled. Otherwise, if you try to go and try to change it again, you will not find it. Okay, I will show you how. So we have Moonshot, select it. Next, I'm just gonna make sure OpenAI Codex model that we have set up before is already set up. So just scroll down, and here you can see it's not added. Yeah, as you can see, the OpenAI Codex provider we have set, it's not added. Make sure you add it. I'll select this one, this one, this one, all these models. Just make sure it's OpenAI Codex, because this one is for ChatGPT authentication without the API. So if you want any other provider, you can add it. I'm just gonna hit enter, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say continue. So if you go back to OpenClaw control panel, go to agent, and here you can see we have Moonshot Kimiki 2.5 as added, and here you can see all the models. Just make sure every time you type OpenClaw configure, make sure all those previous models have selected, otherwise you will not be able to find them here. All right, so we have Kimi, perfect. All right, so once you added the provider, you can just change it here on Telegram. Just make sure every time you add a new provider, type new, just to start a new session to load all the models. So once the session has started, type models, and here you can see that we have Moonshot and we have OpenAI Codex. I'm just going to go to Moonshot, and you can see I have Kimi 2.5, and you can see it's already set to default. If I want to change it, I'm just going to go to OpenAI Codex, and they will go and add Codex Mini, for example. Now the model is set to OpenAI Codex. Let's go ahead and verify it. For select OpenAI Codex, you should see this one has already selected by default. Next, we would like to discuss about the cron job. So if you go to the cron job here, as you can see, there are 0 job here. So what is a cron job? Basically, let's say you have a reminder or a task that you want your AI agent or OpenClaw to execute at 2 p.m. or anything that will be executed on a scheduled basis. So you will see here as a job. So if we go ahead and tell it, hey, remind me tomorrow of, I don't know, the meeting in my calendar, you will see here a job has been scheduled and it will run on that specific time that you ask it to do so. So this cron job really helps the model to schedule tasks for you and execute actions. So let's go ahead and test it. So let's say tomorrow send me a reminder at 10 a.m. About all my meetings in my calendar. Alright, so after a while, got a message. I scheduled one job, 10 a.m. meeting, reminder, etc. You go here, you should see we have a new job here. Here you can actually see it, 10 a.m. meeting reminder. So what this does is that if you click edit, you will see all the information here. We have like a description, we have name, which is 10 a.m. meeting reminder, and the time, which is 11 p.m. And here we have a reminder, it's 10 a.m. Please summarize every meeting looking on my calendar for today, include title, start, end time, mail links, send this to me. I'm not the one who set this up, but I just tell it a reminder tomorrow, and you just go ahead and create that job for me. Now it will be executed at 10 a.m. If I would like to execute it now, and just click run, it will go ahead and execute now. But again, it will execute tomorrow also. And after a while, I got here is a reminder job reported for Sunday, March 8th. No meeting will even show up on either. The last things I would like to mention is if you would like to install skills for AI agent and do some other custom skills, for example, all you have to go to this website, which has some awesome OpenClaw skills. And if you scroll down, you will find plenty of skills here. Right, so let's just search for slides, for example, to generate a slide for us. And here you can see I have this skill. You just open it, new tab, and as you can see, I am in skill.md, and this is a markdown format that explains to the AI how to use this skill. Okay, so in the setup requirement, you must have an API key. So we'll go get the API key. I'm just gonna visit this. Let's go ahead and create an account. Let's sign in. All right, so once you're installed, go to the API, and this is where we can get our API keys here. So first things, I'm just gonna go here, and I'll just copy this URL. I'm gonna go to the bot, and I'll tell it install this skill for me, and it will go ahead and install this skill for you. Right, it is installed. I'm gonna say help me set up it. Right, after a while it fixed the install and it's actually usable now. We add some missing stuff, so what's left is the only parts I can't invent for you. So we need the API key. Go ahead and grab the API key. So go to API key. I'm gonna say OpenClaw. Let's create an API. Then we have the key. I'm just gonna copy this and I'll say here is API key. Right now the API is set up, so we'll just go ahead and test it. We'll say create 5 slides about the future of AI, and here you can see we have some themes. So let's say use this green and modern business pitch deck, use, and hit enter. Right, after a while the deck was generated with green modern business pitch deck theme, and we can just download it. Right, so these are the slides. We have the future of AI, got telephone address, vision of AI, where AI is going, industry impact, risk and barriers, collaborative era, etc. Alright, that's it for the video of today. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do have a question, or if you have a custom integration you'd like to set up with OpenClaw, just leave it in the comment below and I will create a video for it. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and see you in the next video.